salute. There we go. It's time now. All right, y'all. Salute, salute. Salute to the internal indigenous spiritual most high. Not that colonial stuff, y'all. We shaking that off. All right, we gonna shake that off. FBA, we gonna shake that off. Trolls on it. God and your mama can love you. As much as y'all get me in trouble, man, don't start to love some of y'all too, because some of y'all just funny. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all just funny. But anyways, last but not least, last but not least, last but certainly not least. Never that, y'all. Where would I be without the one time? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I say one time. Yeah, yeah. I say one time. It's time to get uncut with this thing, though. So, thank you for joining me on TikTok. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. Wherever you're popping in at, shout out to your city, your state, your area code. You know what I mean? All that good stuff. All that good stuff. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oh, we in here. We in the building, y'all. We got to talk about some business, y'all. We got to handle some business. You know I'm from the South. I be kidding that, y'all. No, I'm from the South. I be kidding that, y'all. All right. First line of business is we got some bittersweet justice, you know, out of Ohio. Some bittersweet justice, man. And I was glad to hear that we got some type of justice. You know what I'm saying? In Ohio, when I say we, read between the lines, okay? I'm just trying to change the way I talk a little bit. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. As we come in, ladies and gentlemen, let's hit the like button, tap the screens, do whatever we need to do to defeat the algorithm, the shadow ban that the racist has us on YouTube. We got to defeat that. We got to defeat that, y'all. Hey, y'all, hype me up, man. Get me in the algorithm. All right, so I don't know if y'all heard or even if y'all remember. Remember when Ohio stayed in the news last year? There was a riot. There was the unaliving of Ryan Hinton. And then the next day we had the whole thing with Ryan's father, Rodney Hinton Jr. So there was a lot of things going on last year in Ohio. I even called Ohio last year. It's on my timeline. I did everything I could to speak with this specific person right here. And she dodged me. She dodged me. Okay. So, y'all, listen, I am more than excited to report this story. More than excited. This is good. As we come in on YouTube, let's please hit that like button. I'm fighting the shadow ban, y'all. Let's try to get me in the algorithm. Let's try to get me in the algorithm. All right, but y'all check this out. This is Richard Taylor. We're talking about no other than Teresa Tigi, the police chief, the racist police chief out of Ohio. Watch this, y'all. Watch this.
This is WLWT News 5, leading the way with breaking news.
That breaking news right now, a major shakeup in Cincinnati's Police Department. Police Chief Terry Tigi fired by the city manager. Thanks for joining us at noon. I'm Stephen Albrecht.
And I'm Kelly Rippin. Cheryl Long announcing just a short time ago that Tigi has been dismissed. This following a critical independent review of leadership. WLWT News 5's Rachel Whalen outside of City Hall for us with what led to that decision and the reaction. Rachel.
Hi, Kelly and Stephen. Yeah, this comes after months of investigation and a formal hearing with Chief Tigi. Today, City Manager Cheryl Long made the final call, saying after reviewing the findings, she determined that the department needs to move forward with new leadership. The city says Chief Teresa Tigi was dismissed effective immediately, ending a more than 35-year career with the Cincinnati Police. The decision follows an independent review conducted by outside legal counsel, which included reviews with more than 30 people and raised concerns about leadership, communication, and accountability. Tigi had been on administrative leave for months.
I have no problem with that at all. Congratulations to Ohio. Watch your back in Ohio. Watch this sister back in Ohio that made this happen. The city manager. She is a sister. This isn't going to sit well. This isn't going to sit well with the rest of them, with all the racist counterparts of Teresa Tigi. But congratulations in Ohio for getting it done. Ohio always winning, y'all. Ohio seems to always stump out racism. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Los Angeles, check it out. It's getting bad there. I can believe it. I can believe it. I think there's lots of Spanish people in California, correct? Lots of Hispanics, Latins, Latinos. What's good, TikTok? Hey, let's get these numbers up, ladies and gentlemen. Please and thank you. Please and thank you. Let's get the numbers up. We'll get back to this though. And I'm gonna remind you of who Teresa Tigi is, or I'll let him remind you. You know, do y'all remember the riot that took place in Ohio with the Russian who I got to watch who assaulted, battered for another chance of words, someone black, and then everyone else jumped in. Okay. Hey, you can yell Trump. That's your team. That's your team. That's your team.
Appeared at a pre-disciplinary hearing earlier this month.
I concluded that a change in leadership is necessary for the department moving forward. This decision was made by me, under my authority as city manager under the Cincinnati City Charter. The Cincinnati Police Department remains stable and fully operational. Interim Chief Adam Henney retains command, and the city will provide an update on permanent leadership in the coming weeks.
Hi, I'm the Goodrick Spirit. As a police officer, I witnessed how road moving companies would take advantage of unsuspecting.
And one of the questions raised.
As we can see, that's a sister now. That's a sister that made the call to dismiss her. The same way that Teresa Tigi made the personal call to dismiss all those black affairs that were and all those black mishaps that was going on at the time, y'all. Let's get back to this. This is karma. This is justice served, y'all.
In that report was why Chief Tigi hadn't had a formal review in years. I asked the city manager that question directly.
The report stated that Chief Tigi had not had a formal performance appraisal in 7 years. Why is that? Who's supposed to be doing them? And we have a personnel file. All the reviews up until then are great.
This is not about 7 years. Different concerns arose at different times. And once there was enough information to warrant a formal review, the city acted. From that point forward, our responsibility was to ensure the process was fair, thorough, and based on facts.
And Long says that interim police chief Adam Henney will remain in charge for now while the city finds a permanent replacement. I'm reporting outside City Hall. Rachel Whalen, WLWT News 5.
Okay, so
now, she didn't go away quietly. You know, this is a known racist who was terminated by a sister, y'all, the city manager of Chicago. I think her name was Cheryl Long or something like that. She's black, okay? She's black. So this is not going to sit well with the Klan, ladies and gentlemen, with the crew, with the cult. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna happen that way. All right. Turtle Peace, what's good? RD, what's good? What's good?
And in the words of my brother Willie D, one bad apple down, a million more to go. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings, all praises due to the Most High.
On YouTube, we're not going to be kicking people out or timing people out. We're just going to remove their comments. If they get too bad, then we'll remove them and time them out. Okay, moderators? Just want to let the tribe know. If they put something up there you don't like, feel free to take it down. You know, I don't care if you take it down every time they put it up there. Troll them. I don't care. They're here to troll us. But we're not going to kick them out unless they do something really bad. We're not going to time them out unless they just do something really bad. Okay, we're going to try to deal with the trolls, y'all. We're going to try to deal with the trolls. All right. So we're about to hear a rundown on why we should be happy and celebrating that Teresa Tigi got fired, y'all. And I'm happy. I called up there 2-3 times last year trying to talk to her. What do you mean you're not charging these Russians? How did you let him go back to Russia and he, battered someone? How did this happen? How did you issue all these awards for 10, 11 black people? Why did you edit the video footage and put it out there like, the black community started it when that's not the case? So she was very dishonest in her approach and she didn't care. We're talking about Teresa Tigi, the former, now I can say happily, the former police chief of Ohio, y'all. Of Ohio. I think Cincinnati, Ohio. Cincinnati, Ohio.
The suspected racist police chief, Teresa Tigi of Cincinnati, has just been relieved of her duties by our sister, the Black city manager, Cheryl Long. Now, if you remember, Cincinnati was in the news a lot last year. First, for that detective that shot our young brother Ryan Hinton in the back in cold blood.
Correct.
And then secondly, after our dear brother's father, Rodney Hinton Jr., allegedly ran down a sheriff the day after. We saw that police chief.
That was actually, I think it was Sheriff Larry Henderson, if I remember right. Sheriff Larry Henderson. This is the same police chief, if you remember, when Rodney Hinton Jr. walked in with his attorney, they had a courtroom full of like bald-head, racist-looking white guys. And they're looking at him like they're mean-mugging him. They're looking at this brother like he's dinner. She allowed all of that to happen, trying to intimidate him. And it went viral when his brother looked one of these oppressors in the face and laughed and smiled and said, "Yeah, I did it." Held his head up high. You took his son, he took one of yours. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with that. If that's the only way you're gonna get justice, I mean, hey, I'm not condoning it, but hey, we never know what we're gonna do or how we're gonna react to it put in a situation. So I back that, brother. I back that, brother. All right.
Up there making all types of excuses and complaints along with the mayor and everybody. Now, I do remember the Black sister, Cheryl Long. I was skeptical of her because she was always standing back there. She never said anything.
True.
So, maybe she was always planning to do this, but kudos to her now. Also, y'all remember the Cincinnati Brawl, where they talked about, the Black people who were responding to the white people who were, causing trouble. Nevertheless, the sister has stood on business and relieved her from her duties for a plethora of reasons. And before we get into those reasons, watch how Tigi's attorney, in their response, tried to pretty much blame the Black city manager and was basically telling her in so many words, "You're going to pay for this." Just listen to the rest of this.
Definitely a big step here. Rachel, has Teresa Tigi responded at all to that announcement?
Yes, her attorney did put out a statement just as this press conference was wrapping up. It reads, "Today is a sad day for the city of Cincinnati. Its leaders have taken a shameful stop of dismissing one of the most accomplished and beloved public servants for no legitimate reason. They know their phony excuses for this disgraceful action are entirely false, but still chose to put the black mark on our great city. We will get justice for Terry Tigi, and those responsible for their disgusting act will be held accountable."
Those responsible for their disgusting acts will be held accountable. They're mad at the Black city manager for firing a racist white police chief who overlooked every single bad thing that happened to Black people under her watch after 35 years with her hostile tyranny type police, y'all. You know what I mean? Everything. Right, no legitimate reason. We just named three. We named the Cincinnati Brawl. We named the public unaliving and this guy wasn't even in street clothes. He was like an investigator that took the life of Ryan Hinton, the son of Rodney Hinton. And then the next day after the unaliving of Ryan Hinton, we got the unaliving of Sheriff or Deputy Larry Henderson by the father of Ryan Hinton, who was Rodney Hinton Jr. He watched the footage of his son. I guess he snapped. He snapped at 3 different occasions. And watch where she chose to be other than addressing this and bridging the gap with the Black community. Watch what she chose to do instead. So to everyone who's upset that she lost her job, we don't care you're upset. We've got to get a victory somewhere. And we've got to get the point across somewhere. She did anything that had to do with Black, she always had pushback. She was telling the same city manager what she was and wasn't going to do. The city manager said, "Well, this summer I need you in the police field, the police force to come out here and protect local visitors that's going to be doing this, We're not babysitters. We're not babysitters. But this is your city manager. This is your boss telling you what to do. But just because she's black, you're being insubordinate. So watch how this turns out.
All right, Rachel Whalen reporting for us here at noon. Much more to come, again, as we dig through some of the documentation that also has come out recently. Rachel, thank you. And the president of Cincinnati's police union also sending a statement about the chief's dismissal. Ken Kober wrote, quote, "This is the latest example of a poor decision made by the city manager that is likely going to cost the taxpayers millions. I look forward to seeing Chief Tigi fight this unjust termination."
All right, so we're not going to watch that news conference, but we are going to give some more information about this Tigi lady. She is not going down without a fight. Of course, she has a lot of supporters, you know, the racist police union chief, the racist FOP.
I got to give credit where credit is due. And shout out to Richard Taylor of Taylor House Publications. Y'all go subscribe over on YouTube. Brother does great work, has a very strong story. You know what I mean? But I have to give credit where credit is due. It seems like no matter what we go through in this country, if don't nobody else stick together, man, racists always stick together. Racists always stick together, man. I've noticed that. No matter what we go through, the racist core of our population always seem to stick together. Now that is some undying unity right there. That's some undying, insurmountable unity right there, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know how it happens, but I know we can use a lot of that just fighting, you know what I'm saying, just systemic racism, racial supremacy, white supremacy, anything. You know, it's all about diversity. But, you know, all people are equal. Everyone should be treated as such.
Union guy who supported the officers who killed the young brother. But you can tell in that response,
hey, be more gorillas. You say they going to hell together too, huh? I'm with you. What's up, Jacqueline? I wish we could stick together as well. That's what prompted me to actually say that. We watch everybody else stick together. We watch everyone else stick together. Every immigrant that comes into this country, no matter what race, no matter where they come from, they stick together. White supremacy, stick together. Hell, we're even watching the LGBTQ community stick together. And we haven't gotten the blueprint down pat yet. Unify. Power in numbers. You know what I'm saying? Yes, now is the time. I absolutely agree, Carol. I absolutely agree. Now is the time. Ladies and gentlemen, as you come in on YouTube, I'm fighting a shadow ban so we can get those likes up to kind of put me in the algorithm. I definitely appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Tribe, I need your help. You know what I mean? Get my Dr. Umar on. I'm going to say it one more time. Tribe, I need your help. You know what I mean? Get me in the algorithm, y'all.
Painful decision. They fired her for no reason. These phony excuses. Now, this is the disgraceful act. It's leaving a black mark on this.
Hey, wait a minute now. Hold up. I don't know what's happening in here right now, but I like the energy in this chat over here in YouTube. I like that energy right there. I like that. Go ahead, be more gorillas. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Carol. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Jacqueline. That's what I'm talking about. Go ahead, Vibe. That's what I'm talking about. That's the energy we need. Right there. You got to refuse to lose. You know what I mean? We've been watching them do this for hundreds of years. Oh, we cooking tonight. I should have got the pots out, man. What we cooking tonight? Y'all cooking. You know what I'm saying? Y'all cooking. Jacqueline said, but that's another story. Willie Lynch taught us not to stick together. Say that William Lynch led us 1712. It hurt us. Virginia Rock Beach. It hurt us. Yes, it did. It hurt us. Jacqueline, slavery is the reason. Brainwashed us. Exactly. Where did what take place? The Willie Lynch letter. Virginia Rock Beach, 1712. Which they are now trying to say that that's a hoax. And we know better than that. Why else would you come up with the term lynching? It was taken from his last name. But they're trying to discredit that now too. So pretty soon, just like they're trying to hide all of the slavery exhibits out of the Smithsonian museums and everything, they're trying to rewrite the history books under the United Daughters of the Confederacy Act to make it look like those slaves weren't slaves, they were migrant workers. They're slowly trying to water the history down and whitewash it. But as long as the internet is there, I'm going to say what I always say. The lies should have quit when the internet hit. I don't care how many books you burn, there's a cloud out there holding all this information. So no one, absolutely no one, should be walking around here uninformed, blind, and still indoctrinated and brainwashed by any of the tricks or the games that our government or the colonizers have played throughout history. We have the blueprint. We are on to it. We are on to it. It's just all about waking up and getting the work done and letting go of the fear, ladies and gentlemen. Letting go of the fear. What I don't understand about fear is we all have to go someday. I much rather go out on my own terms if I had to choose. And I much rather go out fighting for something so I'm remembered on the right side of history rather than the wrong side of history. So no, I don't understand fear. I'm not captivated by fear. Mr. Uncut Consciousness. I'm not captivated by fear. Turtle Peace, I'm with you, brother. Ignorance is not a virtue. So we have proved ourselves and them that we can stick together. I mean, we've done it before. We've talked about Seneca. We've talked about Tulsa, Oklahoma. We've proven this time and time again, but time and time again, they've proven that they will come along and destroy it. Destroy it. And there's never any reparations. There's never, hey, I'm sorry. No, none of this. So I'm glad that she was fired. I want y'all to hear what she chose to do. And I'm going to move on to the next segment of the show because I have a lot to unpack here. It's a lot to talk about. And of course, we got to talk about Donald Trump. We've got to talk about these gas prices. We've got to talk about Iran. Okay, there's so much we have to talk about tonight. We have to talk about this congressional redistricting that just happened. Okay, we have to talk about how they just went back and rolled back 2 civil rights acts, right? So if it was constitutional then by the Supreme Court of the United States, what makes it unconstitutional now, knowing that 1/3 of the population of Louisiana is black? So make it make sense because it's like a control thing, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. We're going to get there. Let's finish this out.
City, those who are responsible for this disgusting act, they're going to pay. Like, they're gearing up to attack our system. So all my people in Cincinnati, y'all make sure y'all stand behind them. Even that other guy they quoted, what a poor decision by the city manager. He named her by name. And we're going to fight this unjust termination. So basically,
Jacqueline, you're absolutely right. I should have grabbed me something to drink. You're absolutely right. They're pulling books off the shelf. You're absolutely right. I try to buy every damn black book I see. You're not wrong. You write your own story, not his story. Jacqueline, get it. You cooking tonight. You cooking. Jacqueline, you got your pots out. What we cooking? I know you season your food. What we cooking tonight, Jacqueline? Huh? You been cooking since you walked in here. I'ma call you Jackie. I keep telling you that. Jackie, what you cooking tonight, Jackie? Huh? Turtle Peace, she been on fire since she came in. She been on fire since she came in. You know what I mean? We ain't looking too good over here on TikTok, but YouTube, we on fire right now. We on fire. This don't happen too often. I ain't gonna lie. TikTok, you can usually show out, y'all. They usually show out. Maybe I'm shadow banned over there too. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Jackie with it. I love a strong black sister, man. who's not running to the church, who's not running to religion, who's not running to indoctrination and brainwash. I love a strong black melanated sister, you know what I mean, who sees the bigger picture. She's doing what the men are doing right now. She's conscious, getting the truth out. That's a strong woman. Most of our women are trying to pull people in the church house to give pastor that money and to get you indoctrinated, to put that fear in you, to turn the other cheek. Got you waiting on somebody to come save you when you need to be out here saving yourself. You understand? Acting up under your own power, knowing that you're empowered by the Most High. Real talk. Everybody want to quote the Bible, but you forget about Genesis 1:26. Come, let us make man in our image and our likeness. You're made in the image of. Why are you waiting? Exercise the God in you. And that's the point and the picture everyone seems to be missing, y'all. Again, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm feeling good tonight, man. I'm feeling good tonight, y'all. I got the spirit of the ancestors upon me, y'all. I got the spirit of the truth upon me, y'all. I'm powered and engineered by that, man. I'm loving this, man. I'm feeling good. I had a good day. You know, I had a great day, thanks to a very special person. You know, I had a great day. I'm still smiling. You can see the uncut smile on my face. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man. It's man. We just got to find a happy median, ladies and gentlemen. And we've got to put our foot down and say no more. No more. I want to get through this so we can move to this congressional redistricting, because that had a touch of racism on it too. Anyone who says that the system does not contain racism, well, we know you're uninformed and you're probably racist at this point.
Basically, the lady wasn't doing a job, and they're going to point out why she was fired in a subsequent video that I'm going to show you. But she has been on suspension since October of last year. And even during that suspension, they say that she had asked for $7.5 million to resign, allegedly. That's
Well, we got to troll. We got to troll. We got to troll. Mr. Marvin. Mr. Marvin say, what's good, short bus? Yeah, Mr. Marvin, you got the fattest vagina in here out of all the women. And you're a mister. I ain't never tell you I wasn't going to strike back. I'm just going to watch my language. But you won't come in here and get it like that, though, pimping. You won't come in here and get it like that, pimping. This ain't what you want. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Grab your extinguisher. I never told you I wasn't going to clap back. All right? Marvin, get it together. I put the whole tribe on you. You don't want that. You don't want that. I will clap back.
what they said, but you're going to hear our sister speak again real quick on her reasonings of waiting so long to make sure she had all the information to be able to get this disgrace to the police force out of the way. Just listen.
Good evening, everyone. Today's announcement was no surprise. The mayor and city manager have been setting up the dominoes to tip in this direction for months now.
We have team coverage tonight breaking down the decision and where things stand now. We begin with Chris Arnold live at police headquarters with the details of that 7-page letter former Chief Tigi received today. Chris.
Have you considered going through the UCC process and taking back control of your straw man? If you know...
Well, yeah, Paula, City Manager Cheryl Long claims she's simply granting the former chief's request to step down if things weren't going well. Now, she says Tigi initiated that process back in October following a shooting at Fountain Square, but then changed her mind shortly after.
This was a tough decision, and I wanted to have all the information and take all the time needed to make sure I landed where I landed. That's where I stand by this decision.
After 35 years with the Cincinnati Police Department, the last 3 as chief, Teresa Tigi is no longer the city's top cop.
We obtained outside independent counsel to make sure that we had a process that was thorough, fact-based, and gave me all the information I needed to come to the conclusion that I did.
The reasons behind Tigi's dismissal are outlined in this letter. It points to three main areas. The first says Tigi opposed last year's summer safety plan, failing to fill details that were called for as part of the plan. Next, Tigi's leadership was called into question after shootings at Fountain Square and nearby between October 7th and 13th last year. The letter states she also failed to recognize or take accountability for what it describes as her own failings. Tigi's family and attorney have said the investigation was a political stunt.
Listen, I might be going through a shadow ban because I clap back at you racists all the time and y'all report me and say do not recommend this channel because, you know, you're going to exercise your entitlement and your supremacy or whatever you want to call it. One thing about it, we're going to get respect out of you. If you don't know how to act in public, coming over here to this platform, whether it's YouTube or TikTok, you're going to learn some respect. You're going to learn some respect. You're used to popping off and doing whatever you want to do and saying whatever you want to say, and it don't work like that. I thought Charlie Kirk showed y'all that. I thought Charlie Kirk showed y'all that you just can't pop off and say what you want to say. All right? So find some respect. Find some respect.
And that she's being made a scapegoat.
There is no scapegoating here. This is not based on one specific incident. I do not blame former Chief Tigi for crime. What I hold her responsible for, though, is the response to that crime, the proactive and innovative solutions, communication, partnership, and collaboration, and there just wasn't enough of that.
Well, Tigi's supporters have been speaking out throughout the day. FOP President Ken Kober said in a statement, quote, "This is the latest example of a poor decision made by the city manager that is likely going to cost the taxpayers millions."
A poor decision made by the city manager, the black woman, who fired the white woman for being racist and not doing her job and being insubordinate. But hey, we know how it goes. We know how it goes. They can do it, and it's okay. But when it's being done to them, guess who's crying victim? When the family of Ryan Hinton was crying out, did she care? No. They were labeled thugs. When she let the white Russian fly back to Russia after he, can I say smacked somebody in Cincinnati or Cleveland, where it was, and it started this riot, the Cincinnati brawl, so it was in Cincinnati. She charged all the black people, rounded them up, quick, rounded them up. Did she care then? No. Rodney Hinton Jr., did she care when she let all those white police in that building to try to intimidate him? No one did that to Jeffrey Dahmer. Let's be honest. No one did that to Dylan Roof. Facts are facts. No one did that to Derek Chauvin. But you did it to this brother because he got even. And we're going to see it by this summer, I think actually by October, when the Carmelo Anthony case starts. All right? So make sure y'all tune into that. Make sure we support that brother. You know what I mean? Carmelo Anthony and something Metcalf, the Metcalf kid. Okay, the Metcalf kid. You know, so we've seen this happen. We know how this plays out, and it's time to stand up, okay?
He goes on to say, "I look forward to seeing Chief Tigi fight this unjust termination." For now, live outside Cincinnati Police Headquarters tonight, Chris Arnold, Local 12.
All right, so you see some of the reasons that she was fired. She failed to fulfill the summer safety plan, which was supposed to place officers in business in the downtown Cincinnati for safety purposes. And she opposed that. And also, instead of going to a city meeting after a big shooting, she went to a play. That's how much she regarded her position. And basically, after listening to this next video you're about to hear, it seems to me that she just didn't want to take orders from that black city manager and the Arabian, forgive me if I'm wrong, Indian mayor. You know, she was just like, I'm white and I do what I want to. I'm not going to follow your plans and I'm going to make it difficult for you. Also, once again, she allowed that detective to get off for shooting our brother Ryan Hinton. I think that was the snowball that started rolling right then, because they had to get rid of it because, you know, you just can't justify that act. But there's some conversation that was released that she was talking about it and she was giving some inside information. So she's really exposing, once again, her unwillingness to go with what the city manager wanted, which was the black lady Cheryl Long, who eventually...
Imagine being non-black, for a better choice of words. Then imagine having a black boss that you have to answer to. Imagine how that just makes you feel like I'm supposed to be giving you orders, is how they feel. So she did, yeah, they hate it. She did everything she could to defy her boss simply because her boss was black. This is your boss. They will compromise their own stability for hatred and racism. And then later on, play victim. But they tell us all the time, stop playing victim. Professional victims, victim card. And what do we see them doing every time the chickens come home to roost? Every time the energy they put out there is reciprocated and they come up short, what do we see? What do we hear? What do they do? So this is a sweet victory. And like I said, if you travel down my timeline from last year, you'll find multiple videos where I attempted to call her every time something went wrong in Cincinnati, Ohio. Every single time. It's on my timeline. It's recorded. You can't fake that. Right. They were sending me back and forth. I think it was Hampton County, if I remember right. They're sending me back and forth between Hampton County and something district something in California. Not California, but in Cincinnati, Ohio. And I could never get her on the phone. She's busy. You want to take a message? Well, I'm an independent journalist. I just have a few questions, blah, blah, blah. I could never get through to the point where you'll actually hear me snap on one of the police, on one of those videos. Eventually, you'll hear me snap.
Got that tail up out the door.
Base 44 super agents, the next thing you can't live without. No setup. Just say hello.
Just watch.
Tonight, we're digging deeper into the audio from the pre-disciplinary hearing between former police chief Teresa Tigi and the city manager.
Her attorney released audio Friday, and in it, she refutes nearly every allegation made against her.
Alexis Martin has been breaking down that video and joins us now.
Tigi's firing.
YouTube, it'll be so nice if y'all take this shadow ban off of me. So y'all know YouTube isn't recommending my channel. And you know they're not honoring any notifications. Y'all know what type of movement I usually have up in here. So try it. Everyone who hasn't hit that like button, please hit that like button. Let's counter this algorithm. They're always trying to stop the truth. They don't stop these trolls from coming in here doing what they're doing, but they want to take up for the trolls when people pop off on them. You know, freedom of speech, right? Liberty, right? Let's hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen.
Has quickly become a war of words. And in this hearing, the former chief and her attorney went through every single allegation made against her and refuted them, while the city manager stayed silent before firing her a week later.
Perfect example. Be More Gorillas just said, nope, because I've been subscribed and just happened to catch you. They're not sending out my recommendations. They're not sending out my notifications. They're not. This is YouTube. This is YouTube, and we know who owns YouTube. So I definitely need y'all help. And Be More Gorillas, you've been around for a minute, so I know you're being honest. You're being honest, and you're like the third person to tell me that today. They're not sending them out. They're not sending them out. Y'all know what type of numbers I usually have up in here. But it's all good. It's all good.
There. City Manager Cheryl Long fired former Police Chief Teresa Tigi last Thursday after placing her on administrative leave in October. Tigi faces numerous allegations, but in audio released by her attorney, she tells a very different story. She describes a conversation with City Manager Cheryl Long before she was put on administrative leave.
Because I said, well, I talked to the mayor. He was fine. She said, well, I talked to him. He was not fine. He said, it's me or you. One of us got to go.
The mayor and the city manager have repeatedly denied this.
I've made the decision to end Chief Teresa Tigi's service.
There is no scapegoating.
One of the biggest disputes, whether Tigi was filling officer details. The city says she wasn't. Tigi says she could.
But either way it goes, we know she deserved it. So, hey, I fully support the decision. Rock on in Ohio. Stand up. All right, y'all. Now, let's get on to another line of business. All right? Let's get on to another line of business. Let's talk about this. Paul Lance, y'all, YouTube. Fair use, educational purposes, literary purposes, commentary purposes, all of that.
So the Supreme Court had a Klan rally, and they decided to gut the Civil Rights Act. Why is that? Because they want to keep America a white majority. Immediately after this decision, the governor of Louisiana, a MAGA white supremacist, paused the elections that were already taking place, and he's going to gerrymander it. He's going to look at the black districts and say, how can I make these white? Yesterday, in Southern California, they put up a...
What's up, Brandon? I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Brandon. As y'all can see, we're still going through this shadow ban, y'all. Still going through this shadow ban. Still going through this shadow ban. But it's all good. The show must go on. We're going to work with what we have. You know what I mean?
Charlie Kirk Way, to remember a racist white supremacist podcaster. What did he stand for? White supremacy. The white man ruling this country. The roaming blacks are committing crimes. If you're a black pilot, you're not qualified. Justice Jackson must be an affirmative action hire because how dare a black woman be qualified?
You don't know what an AI work management platform is? Yikes. Here's 3 new AI-powered changes.
Andy Ogles, posting about 9/11 when Zoran Mamdani's running. Racism, white supremacy. Ted Cruz, posting a meme of jihadist as a checklist on voting when Zoran Mamdani ran. Donald Trump taking away the history of slavery in the Smithsonian, the history of slavery at the Philadelphia South, taking down the history of slavery of Edgar Bevers. That's what this is. This is white supremacy. And the reason we're here is because white people won't say a damn thing because you don't want to be uncomfortable. When black people were...
Brandon, you're absolutely right, Brandon. You're absolutely right.
Hanging from trees by ropes, what did white people do? Nothing. When fetuses were torn out of black mothers, what did white people do? Nothing. When Native Americans were kicked off their land on the Trail of Tears, what did white people do? Nothing. When Asians were in internment camps, what did white people do? Nothing, 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 nothing. White silence has created Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not the problem with America. White supremacy is.
I don't know if y'all know this or not, but Paul Lance, brother Paul Lance, the brother speaking right now, he's not black. And no, I'm not Snoop Dogg. But he is. He's Snoop Dogg. Meet Snoop Dogg. He's ready for the party. We always got Uncle Snoop around. All right? But that's a childhood nickname, Snoop. I've been called that all my life, so it's all love.
We're here because of Barack Obama. He did nothing wrong. He was one of my favorite presidents. Incredible president.
Okay, I don't know what he did right. I'm just saying. He was probably a peaceful president, but I don't know what he did right. He didn't do nothing for his own people. I'm just saying. Him lighting the White House up in those colors didn't help me. Yep. Snoop on the stoop. Yep.
But part of this country, when you hear traditional family values, it means white. White, 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 white. That's what it is. And they saw a black man in the White House, and they said, oh man, I'm losing my mind. Traditional family values, white is going away. The outside of the White House doesn't match the inside, and I'm losing my mind. And they went back to what they know, the plantation owner, a mediocre white man with a micro penis. And in 2024, once again, that's what happened. You voted for a...
I love to hear good white folks speak up, man. I go through so much racism on my platform. I love to hear good white brothers speak up, man. Good white brothers and or sisters, man. It really gives me hope, man. It really does give me hope, man. It moves me in a whole different way. You know what I mean? It moves me in a whole different way. I really love to hear good white folks speak up. Notice I'm not saying white people, right? You know what I'm saying? Good, yeah. Paul is a bad man. He tell the truth. I keep trying to tell people about Paul Lance, man. I keep trying to put people onto Paul Lance, man. You know? Timmy, you started out by saying that you're not being racist. You're being real. But then you presumably and allegedly think that because I'm black, I'm a Democrat. So yes, you are being racist. Because clearly, I'm not. Exactly. Neither side. I'm independent. I think for myself. See what you get for judging? When you assume, you make an ass of yourself. You assume because I was black, I was a Democrat. Anytime you have to say, I'm not being racist, but you're still being racist. Good evening, insatiable brother. Jacqueline, white shot down everything Obama wanted to do. Obama never wanted to do nothing for us. Trayvon Martin started on Obama's watch. That's something he could have did. They were from the same town. He wouldn't even do that. Obama did for the people who funded him. The Spanish community funded him. The Dreamers, the Darkers, and the LGBTQ. We all know about Big Mike. You know what I'm saying? Michael LaVon Robinson. That's why he lit the White House up in that and same-sex marriage and all that other stuff. Obama was never going to do anything for us. I think Obama was the world's first openly homosexual president. You know what I'm saying? That's what I believe. I have never seen a man sit with his legs crossed more between Barack Obama and Cam Newton. Real talk.
White supremacists that didn't even rent to black people who asked for the execution of 5 black men. Very fine people on both sides. An adjudicated rapist, a felon who was sued by a 13-year-old for being raped by a fucking 13-year-old. Officers died after January 6th from the insurrection.
Sorry to interrupt, but this is important.
I'm surprised they don't shadow ban Paul Lance page, man. Wow. Paul Lance be coming with that fire, man. Paul Lance come with that fire.
Shooter who murdered my sweet little Daniel brought a highly lethal weapon with him.
By the way, those were white men predominantly on January 6th, and they all got pardoned. And 77 million people said, yes, I want the most morally bankrupt piece of shit white man because he's white. Harris wasn't a felon. She wasn't a rapist. She wasn't on Epstein Island. She didn't act.
We ain't want her either. Hell no. When she said she wasn't gonna particularly do nothing for black people, we ain't want her. We don't want nobody who cook their greens in the tub, who wash their greens in the tub. No. No, we don't want her. We don't care for neither one. Two-headed snake, if you ask me. Neither one.
$8 trillion to the debt. She wasn't sued by a 13-year-old for raping her. She didn't steal from cancer charities. She didn't go into teenage girls' locker rooms. She's not on the Epstein files because she's a black woman. That's why she wasn't fucking elected.
Paul, you're wrong. She's not black. She's, what is it? South Asian Indian, how y'all say it? South Pacific Asian Indian, however it goes. She's not black. No, no, no. We're not going to play identity politics. Just because someone looks melanated does not mean they're black. No, 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 no. She's not black. She's not black. No, she's not.
And for that DNC guy, Ken, whatever your name is, fuck off, man. They got this whole report from the DNC about why they lost. Because she's a black woman, Ken. Stop the shit. 250 years into the United States of America, 51% of our country are women, and we still would rather have a rapist, child molester defender, convicted felon over the most qualified candidate.
51% of our country are women? 51%? Wow. Didn't know that.
Because she's a black woman. That's why we're here. And white people are still unwilling to not do a damn thing. No King's protest. 8 million. That's it. Out of 348 million people, 8 million decided to get off their lazy white asses and do something. Yay! I'm dressed as a frog. Woohoo! Look at me. Give me my white participation trophy. What have you done since? Have you talked to your friends and family? Have you talked to your coworkers? Have you posted publicly? Have you put an American flag upside down in your front yard? Are you willing to go on a general strike to stop what's happening? No, you're not, because you're sitting in your damn privilege. That's the definition of privilege. It's white silence. And I believe when Martin Luther King said, we're not going to remember the words of our enemies, rather the silence of our friends, he was talking about white people and white privilege.
Tailgater, I got something for you. Keep it up. I got something for you. I promise you. I promise you. Keep it up.
And white silence. It doesn't affect me. Doesn't affect me. Right now, little girls are trying to take their own lives with plastic knives from the stress caused in concentration camps. Children are eating moldy bread and broccoli with worms in it. 34 people have lost their lives in these concentration camps. But what are you going to do, white people? Oh, I have to go to work. I have bills to pay. I got to make money. Yeah, it sucks that you're dying. It sucks that women are losing their pregnancies. It sucks that the officers are betting who's going to take their lives in concentration camps. Yeah, that really sucks. But I have to worry about myself and maintain my white privilege. And if America fails, that's going to be the reason. White silence, white privilege. Because white people are exactly what's wrong with this country.
I didn't say it. Are y'all going to shadow ban Paul Lance too? I didn't say it. I say, are y'all going to shadow ban Paul Lance too? Because he's spitting facts. He said it, not me. He said it, not me.
And I hear this all the time from white people. Paul, if you want to criticize America, why don't you leave? I criticize America because this is my home. Criticizing America is patriotic, but you all are stuck on one of the tenets of fascism, which is excessive nationalism. I just got back from Germany, France, and Holland, and the UK. They don't have gun violence. They have universal health care. In Germany, they pay for their college education. Wow, sounds like a real shithole country over there, but not us. 40,000 people died from gun violence. Nothing I could do. Don't take my gun. You care more about a piece of metal than dead children. That's the problem with America. Woo! We lead the world in incarcerations, military spending, and gun violence, and white supremacy.
Man, let's give it up for Paul, man. Let's give it up for Paul, man. God, but Paul is spitting tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Paul is telling the truth. You know, we can say these same things and we're deemed racist. What are they going to call Paul? A race traitor? Huh? What are you going to call him? I just want to know.
Supremacy. Wow, what a great country. We have a rapist as president. Wow, we worship a racist podcaster who talks about roaming blacks and executing Joe Biden. And dead Americans is worth the cost of a Second Amendment. Oh, what a great Christian. Praise God. Hallelujah. Oh, what a praise. This is a Christian nation. It's a white supremacist nation. It was founded by racist pieces of shit founding fathers that owned black people like property, like.
He said it. I didn't. He said it. I didn't. Ching dots. That's what got black people into this in the first place. Believing in that. You know, keep your indoctrination. We ain't ask you for that. We ain't ask you for that. Keep your indoctrination. If you're joining me on TikTok, please tap the screen, get the lights up. Y'all hype me up, get me in the algorithm, please. I'm going through shadow ban for telling the truth, y'all. I'm being shadow banned on both platforms for telling the truth. Y'all know y'all get tired of these racists too. But because I shoot back at these racists, I get punished. But the racists don't get punished for the things that they come in and say and do, like putting the N-word all the way down the screen. YouTube does absolutely nothing about that.
Fucking property. Black people couldn't even vote until 200 years. How is that great? Tell me how that's great. It's not. It's white. It was designed to benefit 21-year-old white-owning white men. And if you don't like that, you can ship your little three-teeth concepts of brains back to England because America is not a great country. It's a lie. It's a bullshit lie that we've been told. It's meant to enhance and worship white nationalism. That's what it is. It's a lie.
There it is.
America doesn't want the red, white, and blue. MAGA doesn't want the red, white, and blue. They just want the white. And
ooh, Paul is spitting, man. Paul like Jacqueline. Hey, this is like Snoop and Martha or something. I don't know. Paul and Jacqueline came in cooking, ladies and gentlemen. They came in cooking. Real talk. I'm loving this, man. I'm loving this. Paul, talk your talk, brother. Spit your facts, brother. Stand 10 toes down. Huh? Go all the way in, Paul. Don't hold back on him, Paul. I'm liking this, y'all. Because usually when we say this, it's a problem. And it results to us getting shadow banned. Because we know they control everything. But to hear good white folks like this speaking out, man, I'm loving it, man. I'm loving it. Like, what more can we say?
That's what they voted for. And even if you didn't vote for this, you're complicit through your silence because you're not willing to be uncomfortable for somebody else.
Someone needed to create a path that would allow Black musicians from all walks of life to share their God-given.
So you have two options, white people. You can continue on this path of white grievance and white silence and white privilege and pretend like nothing affects you, but it will. Or you could be on the right side of history like I am. And yeah, sometimes doing the right thing is uncomfortable. Sometimes you're going to piss off friends and family. Who cares? Martin Luther King didn't have the luxury of sitting down and doing nothing because he was Black, but white people did. That's privilege. Remember the outrage over the Black man Colin Kaepernick? Who simply took a knee peacefully. Remember the outrage over that? Oh my God, oh my God. But yet those same people voted for a man that caused an insurrection where officers died, and then he pardoned 1,600 felons that attacked police officers. But because he's white, hey, it's okay. He's the...
Woo, man, I want to shake Paul's hand, man. I want to shake Paul's hand. Paul got it going on, man. Paul is speaking his facts. Paul is telling the truth about everything. If we're just coming in on YouTube Can we please get those likes up? As you can see, I'm going through a shadow ban. Actually, I'm going through a shadow ban on TikTok and YouTube. You know, we do need our own platforms because I'm tired of going through this right here. I'm tired of going through it. And every time I want to throw in a towel and say, you know, the heck with it, you know, I have people pulling me back in saying, man, you got to withstand the storm. You can make it, you know, you can make it. But I'm tired of like them having control of everything. I actually set out to be my own boss. And well, now they're controlling my numbers, they're controlling my money, they're controlling everything. And it's not right. So yes, we do need our own. We do indeed indubitably need our own.
White man. And that's the same crap you see with Pete Hegseth, that white nationalist that paid a woman $50,000 for assaulting her, who is a white nationalist. All white tattoo right here. Nationalism, nationalism, nationalism. Operation Fury. Woo! It's toxic masculinity for white people. Now, whether you like it or not, that's just the reality. White people are the problem with this country. More specifically, white silence. First, they came for the immigrants, but I wasn't an immigrant, so I didn't say anything. Then they came for the transgender athletes, but I wasn't transgender, so I didn't say anything. Then they came for the Somalians in Minnesota, but I wasn't a Somalian, so I didn't say anything. And then they came for the brown children and put them in concentration camps and fed them moldy bread, but I wasn't one of them, so I didn't say anything. Then they came for the black people and took away their voting rights. Well, I'm not black, so I didn't say anything. So how long are you going to sit there in your silence, white people, huh? Is it still about the money? You need bills to pay? You need money, money, money? While people are being treated like crap?
Listen, waiting on them? No, that's how we realized we're all we got. That's how the FBA pulled up, you know? We can't afford to wait on anyone. We know no one's coming to the rescue. This is how they designed things to be. You know, you can't throw in a towel. Got no choice but to fight. You know, as Donald Trump once said. But everything this brother is saying is true. But if we were to say this, you know the attacks that we would be under. You know the attack, and I'm pretty sure pretty sure Paul Lance gets his fair share of trolls, y'all. I'm pretty sure. But this is what I mean when I say good white folks. Good white folks. Truth seekers. Truth speakers. All right? That's what we like. That's what we like.
Don't blame the politicians. Blame your silence. You're either on the white side of history or the right side of history. Have a white day.
And my man said, have a white day. He said, have a white day.
I ain't even gonna lie, this is my shit.
All right, y'all. I appreciate that, Insatiable. I appreciate that. And the Cash App is $ Mr. Uncut Consciousness. Now, I want to listen. I want to listen to y'all dumb behind president. Yeah, I was about to get you too. I was about to get you, whether you joking or not. The racist police chief, Teresa Tigi, got fired by Sister Cheryl Long, who was the city manager and who is also black. And Teresa Tigi is not taking it too well. But I'm glad that she was fired. Now we're going to get on Trump. So this should prove to be fun. Now we're going to get on Trump, y'all. Full gaggle. Do we just want to blast them to hell, blast the hell out of them, or make a deal? You should want to make a deal. You should want to make a deal.
So they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it. So we'll see what happens. Iran wants to make a deal because they have no military left, essentially, and they want to make a deal, but I'm not satisfied with it. Because it's never been sought before. There's been many times, and nobody's ever gotten it before. They consider it totally unconstitutional. But we're always in touch with Congress. But nobody's ever sought it before. Nobody's ever asked for it before. It's never been used before. Why should we be different? We have great respect for Pakistan and Islamabad and tremendous respect for the Prime Minister and the Field Marshal. And they're working with us. They continue to work with us. But the trip is a very long one, and we're doing everything in terms of...
Somebody tell me why Trump can't hold his head up straight. Somebody tell me why Trump can't hold his head straight on his neck. Why he can't sit like Trump? Is his big head too heavy for his too small neck? Huh? He got an uppercase head and a lowercase neck. What's going on with him? You know? What's going on with him?
Negotiate right now, in terms of the negotiation telephonically, they've made strides, but I'm not sure if they ever get there. There's tremendous discord. They're having a tremendous problem getting along with each other in Iran. The leadership is very disjointed. It's got two.
Did he just say they're having problems getting along with each other in Iran? Ain't he the president of the United States? Don't he know we're having problems getting along right here in America too? He ain't saw that. He hasn't saw that. We have problems getting along right here in America, and you're worried about what the hell Iran is doing. You're worried about what the hell someone who has a drone military is doing. Their whole Air Force is made up of drones. You're mistreating your people over here, but you're talking moral ethics about Iran mistreating people? Get out of here. What an idiot.
2 to 3 groups, maybe 4, and it's a very disjointed leadership. And with that being said, they all want to make a deal, but they're all messed up. I spoke with the winner, a very good man. As you know, I was very strongly in favor of him in Iraq. And we had a long conversation yesterday. I congratulated him. He won, and with our help, he won, and we want him to do very well. And I told him that the United States is with him all the way. It was a great victory. The new head of Iraq is somebody that we support very strongly.
Must be a colonizer. If America is supporting the leader of Iraq, must be a colonizer. Or maybe they sent one of their family members over there to colonize that too and control the government. I don't know. Why won't somebody just land Air Force One on top of Trump? Just mistakenly land Air Force One on top of him. I mean, it's a mistake. Things happen.
Pakistan has opened the land route with Iran. He may consult you before opening it up to Iran. And are you aware of it?
That was a vicious beat. I know everything about it. Yeah, I have great respect. Are you from Pakistan? I have great respect for Pakistan and for the Field Marshal and for the Prime Minister. Yeah, I know.
Yesterday, you talked about Italy and the withdrawal of troops from Europe, from Italy and Spain. Can you clarify your words?
Well, I'm not happy with Italy and I'm not happy with Spain. And they've done.
He's not happy with Italy. He's not happy with Spain. Dummy, we're not happy with you. Can someone please drop him off in Iran? Can someone please drop him off in Venezuela? Can someone please drop him off on the edge of the earth? Drop him off in space at the next space station or something. I don't know. This guy has to go. What about the gas prices? In the span of 2 days, I just watched gas go from $3.87 to $4.18 to $4.35. 2 days, $4.35 a gallon for gas. Are you kidding me? You're about to have it to where people can't afford to commute to go to work. Especially if they have to travel. Especially if they have to travel. We got it ignorant in here, y'all. We got it ignorant. We got it ignorant. Watch your old Wakanobi or whoever it is.
They feel it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear.
Don't get mad because we talking about Trump. They didn't do the stuff that this punk did. They didn't do that. They didn't do the stuff that Trump did. And I didn't care about them either. I'm not a Democrat. Why you talking about Joe Biden or Obama? Y'all so damn racist. You white people can't even help it. You white people can't even help it. You automatically assume because somebody's black, they're Democrat. See, dumbass? See? See? You're racist. I'm an independent. Black people, y'all need to stop thinking for yourselves. Start thinking for yourselves. Y'all see what these racists do? Why didn't we have this talk when Biden or Obama was in office? Okay, then shut up. Shut up. Shut up. You just said, why didn't we have this talk? Why didn't we talk about this when Biden and Obama was in office? You assume because I was black, I was a Democrat. Shut up, racist. Shut up. Uninformed racist. Now y'all can get him out of here.
Weapon. Anybody that feels.
Bring out the garlic, y'all. Bring out the garlic. Bring out the garlic, y'all. We need the garlic and the sunlight. We got a vampire to vanquish. We have a vampire to vanquish, y'all. I need the garlic. I need some sun. We need the UV rays. We got to get a vampire out of here, y'all. You know, we need to get a vampire out of here. That don't mean somebody want to pay for it, stupid. You're sitting here. You're sitting here debating gas prices when all of that was high. Okay, you know what? We're not going to wait for no sun. We're just going to get you out of here. We're just going to get you out of here.
It's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon is not very smart. And it'll be a terrible thing in the future. If they were ever allowed to have a nuclear weapon, you would have problems, the likes of which the world has never seen before, and it's not going to happen. And aside from that, right now they have no Navy, it's been wiped out, no Air Force, it's been wiped out.
Base 44 super agents. Careful, there's no going back. No setup. Just say hello.
They have no anything. They have no anti-aircraft. They have no radar. They have no leaders because, frankly, their leaders are very disjointed. They have a lot of problems right now. They're not getting along. Their leaders are not getting along with each other. So. We raised the tariffs on cars coming in from the European Union because the European.
This fool is talking about tariffs on cars, the European Union, Iran, Italy. What about America? Why are you taxing the very people who you reign over, who elected you? You know, I don't understand this. I don't understand this. I appreciate that, boss lady. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You know, the more the merrier. I appreciate that. But I don't understand how you're so worried about what's going on internationally and globally to the point to where you're not thinking about the strain that you're putting on the American people, our pockets, this budget, gas. You know, it's hard to even get a raise on your job. Most jobs don't give evaluations, raises, none of that no more. None of that. And you're putting this strain on the American people to prove a point to someone internationally. Prove a point to the people who elected you. Prove a point to the people who live in this country. Make America affordable again. That's what you do. Make America affordable again. That is what we need. Until he can do that, there's nothing to talk about. There's nothing to talk about. This guy is failing in every single department, in every single way. Every single way.
The union was not adhering to the trade deal we have. So based on that, now, when they build their plants, of which they're spending over $100 billion, all countries, not just the union. And when those plants open, there won't be any tariffs. But we raised the tariffs because they were not, as usual, they were not adhering to the agreement that we have. We have a trade deal with the European Union. They were not adhering to it. So I raised the tariffs on cars and trucks.
Again, what about America? You raising tariffs are doing what for the American people? We're facing that taxation, ladies and gentlemen. You have people out here who can't eat. You have people out here who can't pay for health care. Nowhere to live. Mothers, parents who can't take care of their kids, don't know how you're going to live day by day providing meals. And now you got to worry about how you're going to get to work, if you can afford enough gas to get to work, and you have an idiot in here defending these rising gas prices just because it's a Republican doing it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Stuck on stupid. Stuck on stupid. Stuck on stupid. Nothing about this is America first. Where do we come in at? Where do we matter? I'm telling y'all right now, rich white people are starting to feel like poor class black people pulling up to these pumps, paying these prices. And nothing's going to happen until the white community gets mad about it. But they're in here, hey, it was this much under Obama, it was this much over under Biden. Ignorant, just to be somebody's puppet, man. Y'all swing off of this man nuts like the little jungle monkeys you are, man. What is wrong with y'all? You're defending this man, but he's draining your wallet. He's making it hard for you to pay your bills, feed your kids. You don't know when we gonna get something dumped on us for everything we've been dumping on other people. Iran has his number. The Middle East has his number. Everyone has withdrawn. If you are affiliated with the U.S. in the Middle East, Iran done beat that out of you. We have no one, no backup except for Israel. Except for Israel. And they do the same damn thing in Israel. So this is just two toxins, y'all. Two different type of poisons. Which one would take the American people out of their misery faster? That's what this is. And you still have people who are supporting this guy. Supporting this guy. And it's sad. It's sad. I hope his ear never grow back. But somehow, mysteriously, it did. Somehow, mysteriously, it did. And for like the first 100 days, I supported him. I did. And he was all right. Until he started getting rid of all of those undocumented immigrants. And he messed around and said that he thought the people in the inner city would go to the farms. I looked around myself, say, hey, I answered myself. I was like, Myself say, you know, we don't people in the inner city, right? And that's why I drew the line. I was like, oh, hell no, hell no, hell no, hell no. That's why I drew the line. That's when I drew the line, right there. He was good his first 100 days. Every day after that, impeach him. Real talk, that's what it's been. Every day after that, impeach him. Don't save him. He don't want to be saved. Don't save him. He don't want to be saved. Impeach him and fast.
to 25%. That's billions of dollars coming into the United States, and it forces them to move their factory production much faster.
Billions of dollars coming into the United States, and you're making billions of dollars taxing the citizens of the United States. And y'all are supporting him like y'all getting a cut out of these tariffs, out of all this taxation. I don't get it with you Trump puppets. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. Y'all are hanging on to this man every word. But when you pull up to that gas pump does not discriminate. That gas pump don't care if you left or right, Republican, Democrat, black or white, heterosexual, homosexual. It don't care. It don't care. When you go to the store, the supermarket, grocery shopping, those prices don't care. Now, true, they control 90% of the wealth in this country, and we know how. But eventually, they're going to feel it. They're going to feel it. And nothing's going to happen until that demographic of people start to complain and feel like victims. Y'all know I ain't lying. Y'all know I'm not lying. Shit, I most definitely did not. Exactly. Exactly. Y'all know I'm not lying. I tell the truth. That's why I'm being shadow banned. Because I tell the truth. They don't want that on the internet. They don't want that. They don't want people who look like us rallying. We're not supposed to have common sense. We're not supposed to be able to speak like this. We're not even supposed to follow politics. We're never supposed to wake up from the religion, y'all. Huh? We're still supposed to be saturated in indoctrination and brainwashed with stupid. So no, they don't want that on the internet. This ain't what they want. So they do everything they can to silence that. To silence that. Still I rise. Still I rise. And rise, we all must. We all must. We've got to draw the line somewhere. We've got to draw the line. They're so racist, they automatically think because you're black, you're Democratic. You're a Democrat. You know? They never ever think for a moment that black people done caught on to the Democratic Party. We done caught on to the Republican Party. And we're just rocking independent now. I don't get it. Not on the gas pump, the damn grocery store. Exactly. That's what I've been saying. That's what I've been saying. Exact. Have y'all priced little simple things like the price of a mop and or a broom? I want y'all to see how this has really hit hurts. I know who that is. Thank you, Coffee Cups. Thank you. Let's put CC in the chat, please. Let's please put CC in the chat. I don't know how we doing over here on TikTok. You know what I mean? But it seems to be popping on YouTube, you know. So we gonna rock it out. You know, thank you, Coffee Cups. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Trying to get that hang on this platform. It's easier than TikTok. It's a little easier. It's a little easier. You'll fit right along. I made you a moderator as soon as you came in, Boss Lady Mocha. And I appreciate you coming over from TikTok to the YouTube channel. You know, I'm trying to start streaming on both, but TikTok is just a little bit more sensitive. So I've got to learn how to tone me down to really survive on TikTok. But I'm not leaving no money on the table anywhere. So every time I go live here, I will be going live on TikTok as well. You know, Trump will say certain things to trigger the Dow Jones. I've learned that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Coffee Cups. Thank you. Thank you. Trump will say so like midday when he needs everything to go up. He'll make it sound like he just dropped a major deal and this is happening. Hey, just got off the phone with Auntie K. Auntie K. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, family. Let's put AK in the chat. Every time Auntie K come in, Auntie K make sure she throw me this $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Auntie K. She says, enjoy your weekend. Just a quick hello. Auntie K, I appreciate that. I know you got to be a good wife and get back to your husband. Tell him that we and the tribe said hello as well. And enjoy your weekend as well, Queen. Enjoy your weekend as well. We appreciate that. We appreciate that. See, that's unity. That's unity. I've been sitting here talking for like a whole hour and some change, and just like that, two people pop up and make my day. So, coffee cups and not TK, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate the both of you. All right. And I'm going to start robbing myself out of this too. I'm just going to do it how every other content creator does it. I'm not going to read any comments that don't show up in blue as a moderator. And I'm not going to read any comments that don't show up in the form of a super chat like what you just saw from TK. Okay? I'm not going to keep robbing myself. If you have something you want read or you have an idea or question, send it in a super chat. I'll read it. I'll address it. Until then, all I see is blue, and I'm not talking about Democrats. I'm talking about my tribe, the moderators.
We have right now in the United States over $100 billion of car plants being built. It's a record. We've never had anything like it from all countries. Japan, South Korea, by the way, Canada, Mexico, they're all building plants in the United States. But the European Union was not adhering to the deal that we made. So many presidents, as you know, have gone and exceeded it. It's never been used. It's never been adhered to, and every other president can.
You should have used it because we think that you have a slight case of dementia mixed with a whole case of stupid. This guy right here is a detriment to America. He's a detriment to the American people. This guy's a detriment to his damn self. Real talk. You're wearing rashes. You've got rashes everywhere. You're wearing makeup to cover your rashes. You were just exposed from wearing a diaper. For wearing a diaper. If you are at the age to where you are wearing a diaper and you are on yourself on the job, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Let's get this guy on out of there. This can't keep happening. $4.35 right now for 1 gallon worth of gas. $4.35. We're not even talking about diesel. And then he's talking about releasing the E15, the ethanol, the winter fuel, y'all. That's going to tear up your vehicles. It's going to eat those gaskets, those rubber seals right on up in a lot of y'all synthetic vehicles. This makes no sense. And people are still supporting this. Just because, hey, I'm a Republican. I'm going to support anything they do. Fool, be a leader, not a follower. Do you have the common sense to think for yourself? Do you have the common consciousness it takes to think for yourself? This makes absolutely no sense. You're concerned about everything that's going on in everywhere else except for here. And you have people sleeping in tents on the streets. You've got people who are just dying of overdoses, y'all. People who are passing away from things that they could have been treated for had we just had enough universal health care over here. People suffering from student loans. All right? Veterans, y'all, who are homeless, can't eat, still fighting to get 100% pay to get those benefits. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Wizard, what you can do is get your ass up out of here. That's what you can do, Wizard. You so busy talking about what you not gonna do, you'll take your butt to church and pay them lying pastors. You can get your butt up out of here too. Ain't nobody asked you to come in here, son. We don't know you and don't give a damn about you, Wizard. Let me show you. Enjoy your vacation.
Considered it totally unconstitutional, and we agree with that. China is going to be amazing. The visit with China and Chairman Xi, that's going to be great. We have the trip with China coming up, and I think it'll be an amazing event.
Mr. President, if you can't get a deal on Iran, what's next? What will you do?
Well, right now we have negotiations going on. They're not getting there. They are very disjointed. They're extremely disjointed. They're not able to get along with each other as leaders. They don't know who the leader is.
I don't know what y'all infatuation is with this 6-7 stuff. Y'all need to grow up. Y'all really need to grow up. Don't even realize you're talking about death. The average grave site is 6 feet 7 inches apart. Y'all don't even know what these rappers got y'all around here saying, man. Can't even think for yourselves. You're glorifying death. You go to church, you glorify death. Now you're running around here 6-7, 6-7, 6-7. You're glorifying death, fool. The average grave site is 6 feet 7 inches apart, and you're around here saying 6-7, 6. Come on, man. Come on, man. You got to be more careful.
Their military's been defeated. If we left right now, it would take them 20 years to build back that country, but we're not satisfied at this moment. Why would I tell you that?
She asked, are you considering doing strikes on Iran? He goes, why would I tell you that? So he's never going to tell the truth. He's never going to tell the truth. If this guy is breathing, he's lying. If this guy is breathing, he is lying. He just straight up told her, why would I tell you that? That means you're not going to tell us the truth. He's not answering any questions he's actually being asked. He's beating around the bush. Everything is, they like to make a deal. They like to make a deal. Iran is shaming you. Iran has humiliated the U.S. and Israel. And they're putting out nice little Lego little music videos just to rub it in your face as well. Now, how Iran knows so much about this country that we don't know, I would love to find out. But Iran seems to have some good elite intel here. They seem to have great intel, accurate, appropriate intel. Because everything they talk about is right now, is current.
Spirit Airlines, what has been the holdup on a deal? Are
We're
they
looking at it. We're looking at trying to help them. Something we're not looking to get involved with, but if we can, it's 14,000 jobs. I would say we're driving a tough deal, but it's one of those things. We'll do it or we won't. We'll have something for you in dinner tomorrow.
It seems like the other lenders are balking. They think they'll get bumped down in priority.
Well, they will. We come first. Hey, you know what it is? USA first, America first. That's my fight, including with airlines.
That's a lie. How's the USA first? How's it America first? We're just talking about the prices in these supermarkets, prices of clothes, prices of just regular household items. We're talking about rent. We're talking about gas. We're talking about buying automobiles. No, it's not America first. It's more America last, ladies and gentlemen. It's more of America last. But I guess if Trump tells you it's America first, your job is to believe it's really America first. You know, this captain, all of you are captains who are trying to go down with one ship. Go down with one ship. He would never tell the truth about anything because what he's doing is working with the less intelligent. His speech for exactly. And this is y'all dumbass president.
Including with Intel. You know, we made an Intel deal. You know that, right? We made about $40 billion on that. And someday Fox and Peter's going to talk about it. But we helped out Intel, and we ended up making $40 billion. So We're looking at spirit different. It's a different kind of thing, but we're looking at spirit, and we can help them. We will, but we have to come first. We're first. It's America first.
The CEO of Anthropic came to meet Tigi Wiles a week or two ago. What is the latest on your position on that?
So, somebody tell me, where are we seeing America first? I see make America cheap again. I see make America affordable again. America has never been great. And if you look at the 93% of those who have ran the government in this country for almost its 250-year existence, then you know why it hasn't been so great. Then you know why it hasn't been so great. There's nothing about this that's great. Conservative, man. Listen, man. Swing from your own Johnson & Johnson, homie. Swing from your own Johnson & Johnson. Huh? Swing from your own Johnson & Johnson, bro. You can't do that. Huh? Your manhood ain't adequate enough for you to swing from your own shit, boss. You got to swing from another man kahunas. You know what I'm saying? You're always free to leave. I'm indigenous. You're not. Take your European ass back. You're free to leave. We were here when you got here. You're free to leave. Matter of fact, you're free to leave every damn country and continent you ever invaded, you ever conquered. You're free to leave. You're the biggest undocumented immigrant, the biggest illegal immigrant in this country right now. Are you people? Why do you think it's so many of you? Huh? We could prove who came by boat, homie. Let's start with simple mathematics. If you're not indigenous to this land, how are you at least 300 million strong right now? Huh? You sailed your white ass over here like you sailed your white ass to Brazil, like you sailed your white ass to Spain, like you sailed your white ass to Africa, like you sailed your white ass to the Caribbean, like you sailed your white ass everywhere else. Shut up with your disrespectful snowflake eating ass. Shut up. This is why I'm shadow banned. But I refuse to let y'all come in here and try to change the narrative. Y'all know the truth. Get your ass up out of here. Get back on your slave boat and pedal your Mayflower on back across the doggone ocean, homie. Get your cave crawling ass up out of here is what you do.
Well, only that they had a very good meeting.
You had the CENTCOM commander come in here yesterday. Was he briefing you on a different approach options? What kind of options? How would it look different?
I mean, do we want to?
And see, that's how you know these people are so entitled and so misinformed. You know what I'm saying? They need them pause, y'all. Black people, y'all know what I mean when I say they need them pause, y'all. They forgot what them pause feel like, y'all. They want to sit here and talk all that mess and tell you you're free to leave. You bastard, you ain't from here. You leave. If you leave right now, you'll need less sunscreen to survive. Leave. Leave. If you leave right now, you better your chances of procreating with your woman and actually getting her pregnant. Leave. You're not from here. The sun is your enemy. You're free to leave. Get your sunburnt ass up out of here. Don't get mad that we're sun-kissed. You're sunburned. Pork chop, remember that.
Go and just blast the hell out of him and finish him forever, or do we want to try and make a deal? I mean, those are the options.
Do you want to go blast the hell out of him?
I prefer not. On a human basis, I prefer not, but that's the option. Do we want to go in there heavy and just blast them away, or do we want to do something?
Boss Lady Mocha, let me apologize. You know, this is pretty much my debut with you on YouTube, and you know, I feel like I'm not being as professional as I should be because first impressions mean everything. So, boss lady, are you not entertained? Hey, we don't let them get it like that over here. I'll stay shadow banned for the next 3 months. We don't let them get it like that over here. It's checks and balances. Y'all see he ain't said nothing else. He on his way back to the Caucasus Mountains. He done GPS'd his cave. That's what he did. He done GPS'd his cave. That's what he done did.
Very disjointed leadership, as you can understand, Peter. Very disjointed. I mean, they're not getting along with each other, and it puts us in a bad position. One group wants to.
Why I got to be a clown, you colonizer? Why I got to be a clown? You're free to leave. Ain't that what you told me? If you don't like it, you're free to leave. Huh? Bye. Bye. You ain't back on your boat yet? You ain't on the Mayflower? Dig up Christopher Columbus' bones and float your ass back over to Europe on his bones. Try that. Try that. May a great white swallow you on your journey. Try that. You know you ain't gonna last long out there on that water and in that heat. You ain't gonna last long. You'll be glad when Jaws come along and swallow you up. You ain't gonna last long out there in that heat. You'll be looking like a strawberry by high noon tomorrow. Keep on. Keep on, tailgater.
Make a certain deal. The other group wants to make a certain deal, including the hardliners. The hardliners want to make a deal too. Why wouldn't they? They have no Navy. They have no Air Force. They have no anti-aircraft. They have no nothing.
I think we need to bring out the sun, y'all, and the garlic. We have a vampire that needs to be vanquished. We have to get rid of a vampire, y'all. Can we get the sun? I just need some pictures of the sun and some garlic. Y'all know what it takes for them vampires, y'all. Can somebody just post some can I get some sun up in here? Can I get some garlic? I see a vampire that's about to go poof for effing with a daywalker. You know what I'm saying? We daywalkers up in here. Truth is, you're mad because we're melanated. Huh? We come with that carbon 12. We survive. That sun is a healer. Huh? You're mad. You're mad because that sun heals everyone else but kills all of you. Facts for you. Facts for you. You're mad because that sun heals everything else but unalives you. All right, boss lady Mocha. All right, have a good one. You know what I'm saying? So you're mad, and we understand. We also understand that we're not supposed to know who we really are. At least you're under the false perception of we don't know who we really are. And we really do. We really do. We really know about everything you stole. We know. We know about everything you. Oh, I see the garlic. Oh, I see the garlic. Y'all want to know what was going to happen? Tailgater. You're about to go poof. Ooh, that boy went poof. Y'all see that vampire explode, boy? I seen that on Sinners. I always wanted to do that. I saw that on Sinners. We got the storm. Alicia Barnes in here. What's up, Alicia? What's up, Alicia? Y'all saw that vampire go poof? Y'all saw that, boy? Yeah. Like I thought I was watching Sinners again, y'all. The way they was a poof. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. I rocks with that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, name says it all, tailgater. Exactly. Exactly. Caucasus Mountains are calling. You hear the tribe. Enjoy your crawl. Enjoy your crime. Enjoy your crawl and your climb. Let's go.
Because of all the firepower required for epic ship.
Bro, they be calling us, I got to say this. They be calling us low IQ, right? And they quit to be like, well, if you don't like it, you can leave. You're the one that's not from here. Why do you think it's so many of y'all here? Y'all imported yourselves here. Why don't you deport yourselves? Deport yourselves. Just hop back on your Mayflowers. You know what I'm saying? Hop back on your Prince Henrys or wherever it was, your Santa Marias. You know what I'm saying? Hell, float in a bottle. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. Just get ghosts.
That there are people in the White House who are starting to worry about our inventory.
No.
Are you worried?
No, we have more than we've ever had, actually. Because all over the world we have inventory, and we can take that if we need it. But all over the world we have tremendous amounts of inventory. The best. For instance, we're stocked and locked and loaded. Right now, we have more than double what we had when this started.
You don't know how bad I wish a crow would have just flew over Donald Trump's head right here, just pooped all over it. That was like perfect timing. You know what I'm saying? That would have been perfect timing. A bird should have just shit it all over him. It was a nice sunny day, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It was like a good day for a bird to take a dump on Donald's head, y'all. And the bird missed the opportunity. The bird missed the opportunity. Okay, boss lady, that's cool. I'm glad. I'm glad you're still here. Thank you. Thank you. That's what they say in church. Thank you. Thank you.
But, you know, we're all over the world. We're in many, many different countries, many different places, all backed up. Now, what happened is Biden came in like a stupid fool, and he gave a lot of what we had to Ukraine. And it was 350 billion.
I don't want to listen to this guy no more. Bottom line is he's stupid. He's dying. He should be impeached. He poops on himself. He does things to children that you just shouldn't do to children. And plus, how did his hair grow back? And y'all, look, I know I'm always calling them vampires and stuff, but y'all can't lie. Y'all cannot lie about this. I don't know if y'all, what movie was that, man? What movie was that? What movie had Edward and Jacob and all of them? Twilight. Thank you. Thank you. Y'all see his security guard right here? Y'all see Edward? Y'all see his security guard? Tell me he don't look like a vampire. Look at the guy right there by Trump. That's Edward, y'all. That's Edward. All these vampires, he look just like Edward. Look just like a vampire. That boy needs some sun. Oh, he in the sun right now. That boy needs some sunscreen. He need a tan. He needs some melanin. He needs some melanin. Yeah. Boy, look just like a vampire, man. He pale and stuff. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Boy, you can't fight the sun rays like that, boy. You can't do it like that. Better get out that sun. Gonna get a little red. I don't want to talk about him no more, though. I don't want to talk about him no more. We gonna move. Oh, we here. The sun is here. Okay. Okay. I needed that sun like 10 minutes ago. But we got him up out of here, though. We got him up out of here. All right. We got him up out of here. We moving on. We moving on. That's what we gonna do. Let's talk about this redistricting, y'all. Let's talk about the effect.
What's up, y'all? I'm Carson Miller, Master Chief, and I want to tell y'all social media digital
What? Wait, you know what unclaimed money? This is something everybody should know about. The government may owe you money, and you can go.
The Supreme Court just gutted the Voting Rights Act of 1965, which was passed to guarantee equality in how we vote.
This is Jew Almighty. Y'all go find Jew Almighty on Almighty YouTube, y'all. And subscribe. And hit that notification bell. Hit the notification bell. You know what I mean? Real talk. Hit it here too, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hit it here too, y'all. Or you want to take some more vampires? You gotta take some more. You just gonna hand me the sun and the garlic. Hey, we gotta get the vampires in here first. Boss Lady Mocha, thank you, y'all. All right, let's put BLM. And no, I'm not talking Black Lives Matter. It's for Boss Lady Mocha. All right? Put BLM in the chat. Y'all know white people ain't gonna want to put BLM in the chat. Let's put BLM in the chat. Thank you. Thank you, Boss Lady Mocha. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. Thank you. BLM. There we go. BLM. Let's get it in there. Thank you. We appreciate it, Boss Lady Mocha. We appreciate it. Y'all think I be going in, boy. Hey, Boss Lady Mocha be going in. She just ain't got crunk yet. That's y'all. Hey, that's it. You know what I'm saying? She's feeling her way out. You know what I'm saying? But then she gonna, hey, I'm telling y'all. All right. All right. Boss Lady Mocha is a real one.
And of course, addressing the systemic and historic racial discrimination, especially across the South.
And how are you mad at these Supreme Court justices when the two raisins that you have in the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson and I can never think it, Clarence Thomas, there it is. That man about 1,000 years old, ain't he? But how you gonna get mad and each one of them they're married to white counterparts? You know, you thought they were gonna vote in favor of black and they don't even love black or sleep black or see black in their regular old households. They didn't want to see black. That's why they went white. So how did you think that they were going to vote? How did you think they were going to vote?
I'm being honest, this is one of those moments where it just feels defeating, like a never-ending battle being black in America. It constantly feels like we're fighting battles anywhere, everywhere, at all times, just to exist.
Whenever black people make political, social, or economic progress, white people try to stop it. That's what just happened when the Supreme Court, in a 6-3 decision, ruled against a black congressional district in Louisiana.
We're fighting racism, we're fighting discrimination, even battling skin folk that ain't kinfolk, while trying to hold on to the rights that our ancestors fought for, that we've had for less than 100 years.
There is something so insidious happening right now to the black community. The black community is under attack right now at a level we haven't seen probably since the civil rights era.
All the while, those same rights that our grandparents, great-grandparents fought, marched, were arrested, beaten, and bled for are stripped away.
As much work as it took to secure those rights, they recognized that there were some limitations there. And now here we are 60 years later, where the undermining of those efforts are in full effect.
But I'm Jew. Welcome to the channel. Please like and share the video. Don't forget to sub. Now, let's get into it.
The Supreme Court has just released a major decision which could have a profound impact on the midterm elections. The justices issuing a ruling on a case out of Louisiana involving the Voting Rights Act, redistricting, and whether states must end any consideration of race when redrawing congressional maps. The decision potentially reducing the influence of minority voters and minority representation in Congress.
And Kira, this decision is 6-3, written by Justice Samuel Alito, and it's a significant decision and a setback for the landmark Voting Rights Act of 1965, which was passed to guarantee equality in how we vote, and of course addressing the systemic. And
I don't understand how it's legal and constitutional then, but it's not legal and constitutional now. That's what I'm not understanding. I'm not understanding that at all. How can it be written into law then and be deemed constitutional, but now it's unconstitutional? I wonder how.
Historic racial discrimination, especially across the South. This decision came in a case out of Louisiana involving a court-ordered drawing addition of a second majority black district in that state because of the size of the state's population. And the Supreme Court today, in this decision, said that the court violated the 14th Amendment by adding, the state rather, violated the 14th Amendment by adding that district. They used race impermissibly, consciously, to add a second district to aid those voters. And they said that is simply not allowed under our Constitution. Justice Samuel Alito didn't.
I know this is a lie, especially if you don't keep up with politics or kind of know the intricacies of everything that's going on. They basically said that states using the Voting Rights Act to give black voters a voice and power is racist against white people. If you have a large black community that could realistically come together and elect a candidate, not just a black candidate, but any candidate that speaks to them, their needs, that they think will support policies that benefit them in their community. And instead, the state splits the community across multiple districts, so they're always outnumbered, meaning it doesn't matter who they vote for. If everybody else in their district votes for somebody else, their vote doesn't matter. Their voting power is basically gone. That's not complicated. That's just math. And that was happening. The Supreme Court striking that.
And that's exactly what this is. With that Supreme Court decision, that's exactly what this is. Even if black people show up to vote and they vote differently from their oppressors are now in the same district and their vote outweighs the black vote because it's more of them than us. Y'all should want them to take their asses back home now more than ever. I'm just going to say it and keep it real. Y'all should want them to roll their boat gently down the stream now more than ever, ladies and gentlemen. Real talk. This is getting bad. It's getting bad. We've got to draw the line somewhere.
Section 2, gutting the Voting Rights Act, is them basically allowing states to use racism when districting, telling them as long as it's for a political reason that it's okay. So if you think about all these Southern Confederate states that never wanted black people to be free, that didn't want black people to have rights, that fought back through every stage of Reconstruction, and then ended up oppressing and suppressing black people after the Reconstruction era anyway.
The Reconstruction era was...
And he's right. He's right on the money. He's right on the money. But I do want to say this too. Black people, maybe this will get y'all to escape this Democratic Party. I mean, don't go run to the Conservative Party either, but definitely get away from the Democrat. Cardenas, what's good, my man? What's good? Get away from both parties. Get away from both parties. You know, now would be a good time because he's making sure that they don't lose any Republican seats and that they gain seats in these midterms, y'all. That they gain seats. Can you imagine these people having control of your community? Can you imagine that? Did you not see how he weaponized the military against the U.S. people? Can you just imagine if they had to hide the nuclear codes from this guy at one point while this is going on with Iran? Can you imagine if people like that, and you know our communities vote against people like him, if they get control of our community, it's hell to pay. It's hell to pay. Real talk.
Supposed to heal America's wounds after the Civil War, but it failed so badly that the racial and socioeconomic implications are still being wrestled with in America over 150 years later, and the Reconstruction era, immediately after the war, was arguably a failure. Instead of bringing everyone back together and promoting liberty and justice for all, things that would have been difficult to do due to the political climate and racial tensions, the Reconstruction era ended with social divides, economic imbalances, and racism so ingrained in the system that hate groups.
These Republicans or Democrats don't care about black. Democrats just play towards the vote because that's who black people subscribe to. Why, I don't know. And the Republicans, they don't care. They're not going to show up to your churches for your vote. They don't care if they get your vote or not. They're going to do what they want to do regardless. Hey, listen, I like anyone who lets me know that they are my enemy. And those Republicans let you know right offhand that, hey, they're just not for minorities. Okay?
Determined who could vote in some towns.
The civil rights movement of the 1960s was a movement struggling for rights, which black people in America had during the Reconstruction era when the federal government was basically steering the southern states toward doing right for freed black people, but lost following the Compromise of 1877, which again was when the federal...
But do you understand now that those votes don't count? I understand you're coming in here and you're advocating for what our ancestors did, but this overshadows everything that our ancestors fought for when it comes to voting. Because if your Democratic community is redrawn on this congressional map and they turn it to a Republican part of the map, congressionally, that district, you're screwed. Your vote means nothing. Your vote means absolutely nothing because it's outnumbered. It's outnumbered.
Government just tapped out and gave everything over to the southern states to run how they wanted, which led to Jim Crow, which led to voter suppression, which led to black people being killed, strung up, hung for trying to get the rights that we are now losing today. The Supreme Court ruling is a reminder of the fact that rights are not permanent. They can be reversed. America, and the Supreme Court in particular, has a history of dismantling laws and policies designed to protect black people. This is why we have to guard the gains made by our ancestors. That's what we're back to to now, where black people will basically have taxation without representation.
Go as far as saying race can never be used in drawing these maps. That's something the court has affirmed before to comply with the Voting Rights Act, but he put a significant new limit on how courts can order states to draw their maps to be more equitable. He said that Section 2 imposes liability only when evidence supports a strong inference that the state intentionally drew its map to discriminate. So a setback for minority voters in Louisiana. And now, Kira, the impact of this decision is going to start to ripple across the country.
They have given states the right to just say, we did a new map for politics, not for race, even though it's all about voter suppression of specific races. White people rolling back.
You really think Kamala was going to do something? That chick was just a puppet. She was an Obama puppet. That chick was dumb, uneducated. Kamala wasn't going to do nothing. She's not black. She played identity politics. Nothing. 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 I would have voted for Trump over Kamala. I personally would have voted for this evil crap right here over Kamala Harris. She's married. She won't even wear her real last name, Imhoff. She's playing identity politics. She wants to be considered black, but she's not black. She was the first Asian senator and the first Indian this and the first... Come on, man.
Civil rights, but calling us divisive for talking about racism. I'll never be gaslit into not talking about racism or discrimination or slavery, civil rights, because we know racism is alive and well, and it's more overt now than it has been in the last 60, 70 years. So they're not even hiding it anymore. They're back to the Jim Crow era of passing laws that enforce racism and discrimination. The Voting Rights Act was written to correct racial...
Bye.
Gerrymandering, the act of forcing black voters into white conservative districts. Southern states couldn't be trusted to ensure black representation. Look at these maps. It's insane. If you don't know anything about anything, just look at the blue versus the red. That's representation that black people as a whole do not have anymore.
She was taking away black rights, period, whether it's for truancy or getting locked up for marijuana or anything else. Y'all better go back and do your homework on Kamala. Y'all forgot what job description she had in California. Y'all forget. Kamala's locking black people up for the least little bit of thing. All y'all will be mad because your children are out there being unalived. She's the one that pulled all these doggone Planned Parenthood buses up, giving away free for babies, for pregnant women, free abortions, if I can say it. 8 Planned Parenthood buses pulled up to a DNC rally. She's telling y'all women's rights, unalive our children, let your sons be gay, let your women think that they're men, and you're okay with that. Something is wrong with y'all. They're okay with men and women's sports. Are you stupid? They want to take away the parents' rights in the schools. You know, parental consent for what these schools do with your children. Are you stupid? Are you stupid? There is now. You said name one. There is now. They're all lying-ass politicians.
There is something so insidious happening right now to the black community, and most white people literally have no idea it's even happening. The black community is under attack right now at a level...
Yeah, she slept her way to the top. I forgot about downtown Willie Brown. Slept her way to the top. Ain't none of them good. None of them.
We haven't seen probably since the Civil Rights era. You know, with the Supreme Court gutting the Voting Rights Act earlier today, you've got the purge of black federal workers, attacks on non...
This woman came out and said that she wasn't going to specifically do anything for the black community. Why the hell we going to waste a vote? Why would we waste a vote? If this woman spent all this time playing identity politics, putting on a fake Southern accent and all of that, right? You forget that she was already in office under Sleepy Joe for 4 years. Anything that heifer wanted done, she could have done it. And she didn't. She didn't. She was not the answer. And I'll take Trump 1,000 times before I take that hoe. At least we know what Trump is capable of, and he won't live as long as her. I'm just saying. I don't even give Trump 10 years. I don't even give him 10 years.
Profit funding with the whole DEI boogeyman, and it's self-proclaimed white Christians leading the charge against them on all of these fronts.
Outrageous. What the Supreme Court just did is outrageous. Chief Justice John Roberts finally got what he's wanted for 40 years, the complete dismantling of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. The court has picked away at voter protections for years, but with the decision they made this week, those protections are all but gone. But this decision could end up eliminating up to 19 Democrat districts. 19 majority-minority districts, and that would significantly reduce minority representation.
White supremacy, entitlement, control, wanting to run all the time. Yeah, this is literally just black versus white. That's what this is. Black versus white.
Representation in Congress, especially in the South.
I'm starting to think that maybe the Supreme Court is racist. Yeah, maybe. Even if you're a black Republican or conservative, there's no way you should be okay with this decision by the Supreme Court because it takes away power of the black vote. They really want us to have no representation in government. Facts, that's what MAGA was always about, and they're putting it into effect. So the conservative justices think that having a black majority district is racial gerrymander, but diluting black people's vote isn't racial gerrymander. The John Roberts court will be seen as one that is corrupt, that turned the president into a king with their rulings. The only way any of this is stopped or reversed is if MAGA and these conservatives are completely out of power and Democrats take back the...
We need them out of power. That means buy up all the sunscreen, y'all. Buy up all the sunscreen. We need all these MAGA racists out of power. Y'all got to buy the sunscreen. Buy up all long sleeve shirts. Make sure that every inch of their skin is exposed to the radiation of that sun, y'all. We got to do something. Make sure that they are getting plenty of sun. If they don't like vitamin D, then let's feed them more vitamin D. You know what I'm saying? In the words of T.I., you can have whatever you like. You know what I'm saying? You can have whatever you like. The answer would be to redraw all congressional maps in all Republican states. If you're in a Democratic state, redraw all your congressional maps in your Democratic state to favor you. It's easy. You do the same thing they did and see if it flies. You do the same thing they did and see if it flies.
House to put brakes on all of it.
Listen, white people who come in talking about racist clown, shut up. We're sitting here talking about racism right now. And the person who did it looks just like you, coward. And you voted for me. Y'all quick to call somebody racist. Y'all always need a head start. You always need a handout. You always make excuses. You're low IQ, unaccountable. Man, shut up. Damn pork rind.
Let me be very clear about one thing. We are not going to let the extremists successfully rig the midterm election. We will not allow them to artificially hold power as a result of a racial gerrymander, a partisan gerrymander, or DeSantis dummymander. Doesn't matter what it is. We're not going to let them prevail. And we're not just...
Now, look at Shay Whitey right here. Comes in, racist clown. He's mad and accusing us of being racist because we're complaining about white people redistricting the congressional map in Democratic communities and states. He's mad because we won't let them run us because we're complaining about it. He's mad, y'all. No, look at PG. Oh, PG, go get your parental guidance. John Roberts was the perfect tool for the Republicans and was George W. Bush appointed Supreme Court judge. Yeah, yeah.
Talking about that. We faced this same very question about a year ago when Donald Trump and Republicans launched this scheme to gerrymander congressional maps all across the country and snatch away, according to what people objectively said, it was going to be 10, 12, or 15 seats, with folks claiming that Democrats could do nothing about it. But we stand here today having fought back all over the place, in Texas, in California, in Utah, in Ohio, in New Hampshire, in Nebraska, in Missouri,
in Louisiana now,
Indiana, and most recently in Virginia. And Democrats haven't lost the gerrymandering battle. We're winning it. And everybody understands that, regardless of what they do in Florida. Well, we'll continue to push back.
If voting don't matter, then explain to me why they are fighting like hell for Black people to not be able to do so. Voting 100% matters. Anybody not using their vote is dumb. Anybody refusing to vote is dumb. Anybody voting third party with a...
What is your vote gonna do right now since you are calling it dumb? If they are, it just makes no sense. The Black vote holds no more weight anymore. Why waste your vote? Their vote is going to outnumber your vote regardless. They know you're going to vote Democrat. They just turned all of that into Republican. Can you imagine the amount of white people who are now on that same congressional map with you? Their districts are now on that map with you. Who's going to vote opposite of your interests? It's a counteract. It's like bringing the immigrants over here to help the Democrats win the election. And now man, come on, man. You can't make this make sense, man. You can't make this make sense. No, it doesn't matter if you vote. It doesn't matter. They've got white people in every corner where they need them now in Democratic states and cities. It doesn't matter where you vote. Your vote's not going to count. It's not going to count. All right, boss lady, I appreciate that, y'all. Let's put BLM in the chat, please. BLM. Let's put BLM in the chat.
Elections this important is dumb.
Whenever Black people make political, social, or economic progress, white people try to stop it. That's what just happened when the Supreme Court, in a 6-3 decision, ruled against a Black congressional district in Louisiana. The NAACP called it a devastating blow, and Supreme Court Justice Elena Kagan warned that our representation is about to sharply decline. How does she know? Because it's happened before. Louisiana's population is 1/3 Black, and Black people hold 2 of the 6 seats in Congress.
1/3 Black, and Black people hold 2 of the 6 seats in Congress, which means that these Black people are coming out of places like Louisiana. All right. Good night, boss lady Mocha. Good night. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you so much.
But today's decision will likely eliminate a Black congressional district and open the floodgates for other former Confederate states to do the same. We've been here before. Historian Carol Anderson calls it white rage. In 1877, there were 8 Black members of Congress. By 1901, there were none. Even in the 1960s, there were no Black members of Congress from the South. When Lyndon Johnson signed the Voting Rights Act in 1965, white Southerners fled the Democratic Party and became Republicans. And since then, no Democratic candidate for president has ever won the white vote. It happened again with Barack Obama. The majority of white voters voted against him both times. 1 year after he was reelected, the Supreme Court gutted the Voting Rights Act. That same day, officials here in Texas announced the nation's strictest voting ID law. And since then, states have passed hundreds of new restrictions.
This is bad, y'all. This is bad. Look, obviously, we've got to do the work. We've got to come to terms, and we've got to get tired. We've got to get tired. No matter what we do they're going to continue to try to control us and change the narrative. All right? So we've got to do the same thing. It's time to fight back. It's time to fight back. You know, it's time to be heard. It's time to be seen. It's time that they know. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate and say thank you to everyone for coming in. I want to say thank you to all donors, you know, and I want to thank you to all new subs. Remember, you know, to not only sub, but hit that membership button as well. It comes with perks. Hit that membership button and nope, I don't remember you. Y'all know what to do, man. Get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one. Get your one-on-one with the real, internal, indigenous, spiritual Most High, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Every time the DNC regain a House and Senate, they don't get rid of the damage. The RNC, they all do the same damage. They all just have different agendas, man. You know what I'm saying? Different agendas. They're the same, but different agendas. That's all that is. Y'all stay prayed up, stay blessed up, stay meditated up, stay protected, stay real, stay conscious, stay uncut, be inspired, be great, be you. Ashe.